Hey guys, so I decided to recap this week's episode of 16 and Pregnant, and I guess they're doing something different now. I don't know why they're speeding the season up so rapidly. Maybe they have a lot of new shows coming on MTV or whatever. I hope that 16 and Pregnant didn't get canceled. I don't believe that it has, but they did 2 episodes this week, and then they're also going to do 2 episodes next week, and that is the season finale. So they're pretty much already done with 16 and Pregnant. They went through it very, very rapidly. So first I'm going to talk about Jordan and her boo. And then I'll talk about, sorry I'm looking at my TiVo. Then I'll talk about Savon. So Jordan, she's pregnant. I forgot how old she was, but she's pregnant, and basically her and her guy are in one of the worst situations that I've pretty much ever seen on Teen Mom. Jordan and her boyfriend are homeless, and this was really kind of a hard episode to watch. Like, it really was. It was tragic because here's this young girl, and she's struggling to, find a place to live, like, throughout the episode. And it was a really tough one to watch. She was with her boyfriend, and obviously she got pregnant. And her boyfriend had some type of part-time job. And they were living at her parents' house, when she found out that she was pregnant. But, what really doesn't make sense is, where's his mom? Like, how did he become homeless in the first place? Like, was he homeless when she met him? Because they obviously didn't start off living together. But I guess they never really go into that type of tidbit thing. But, yeah, they were living at the parents' house, and she's pregnant, and he had a job. And when he lost his job, something about him losing his job, which was a seasonal job, her parents kicked her out of the house. So when her parents kicked her out of the house, she was just she didn't really know where to go. They were pretty much couch surfing and just kind of staying with friends and things of that nature. Like, they really didn't have anything. They definitely didn't have anything for the baby, and they pretty much just have an old van, which gets them from point A to point B. Throughout the episode, we see them going to, like, her relatives, and asking them if they could stay with them or whatever. And we really don't see too much of him, asking his relatives. So again, where's his family at? They never really go into that. So, he calls his dad. Well, I guess his dad lives in a different state, so maybe his family is in a different area or anything. But he clearly doesn't have anyone, wherever it is that they're staying at. So he calls his dad, and he says, I have a friend, maybe you guys could stay with her. So they go with a friend, and she does let them stay with them. They stay in, like, the living room, which still isn't an ideal place, but it's better than nothing. And he takes, like, the longest time. He is looking for a job. I think that this guy is trying, but he wasn't trying too hard. He wasn't, like, very adamant about getting the job. He was just kind of, I don't want to say joyriding it, because that's not really, he was just kind of like, being really nonchalant about getting the job or whatever, about getting a job. So, when they're staying with this new lady, I think her name was Tracy, Miss Tracy, her friend throws her a baby shower. Her friend's name was like Sugar or something. And her friend throws her a baby shower, and they have a baby shower for them, and she's able to get a lot of stuff that she needs for the baby. And eventually, of course, the baby does come, and they're still with Miss Tracy for a while, and then Miss Tracy ends up getting evicted, and they really don't have any choice to go anywhere except for Texas. Now, this is the thing that kind of got me. Okay, I'm going to keep it real with y'all. I know these are teenagers, but I'm going to keep it real with y'all. So, towards the end of the episode, his dad is like, if you come to Texas, I'll have a job for you. I'll have a job for your girlfriend. And, you guys will have a place to live. And she's like, hold on, let me think about this. Is this really what I want to do? And she goes off and she talks to her friend Sugar. And she's like, yeah, I really don't know if I want to go to Texas. I don't really know if this is something that I want to do. What do you think? And her friend's like, well, I got to be real with you. He could have been had a job. He could have been did this. He could have been did that and had things settled and set up for you and the baby and da-da-da-da-da. I don't think you should have to alter your whole life and go to Texas. But it's like, I'm trying to figure out what other option do you have? Like, that's the only option that you have is to go to Texas. Sugar, that's your friend or whatever, but she never once offered for you to stay with her and take care of her and the baby. Like, yeah, he could have did a lot of things. He could have did a lot of things, but I mean, that's not what's going down right now. You got to look at what's going on now, not what it could have been. She could have not have gotten pregnant, but she did, and she's in this situation, so you have to fix the situation as is. Like, I didn't get that. Like, you really have no other choice. All the relatives that you've gone to said that you can't stay there. So it's like, what else are you going to do? At least if you go to Texas, you have a job, he has a job, and you have a place for the baby. You got your own space, whatever. Just go to Texas. I don't know why she even had to debate it, but there you go. So yeah, that was pretty much Jordan's thing, and now I'm going to get into Savon. Alright, so now let's get into Savon. So Savon is another 16 and pregnant girl, obviously. And her story is a little bit unique. It's kind of something that 16 and pregnant hasn't really touched on before. And, Savon, she was in a relationship. She was digging on this guy. And they weren't actually in a relationship, I don't think. But she was digging on this guy, and she ended up sleeping with him. No. So with Savon's story, Savon has been friends with this guy. They've been cool for a while. And they were kind of into each other, but nothing really, started up. And that guy is, I believe it was something with the M. I can't think of his name. Anyway, that guy was something with the M. I'm going to call him Mr. M because I can't think of his name. So Mr. M, she was into Mr. M, but they didn't really get together. And then she started liking this other guy, Eli. And she ended up sleeping with Eli, and turns out she gets pregnant. So she tells Eli about the baby and everything, and that she's pregnant, and he basically wants nothing to do with her. He doesn't, want to care for the child or anything of that nature. So yeah, he's a deadbeat. And then she has this other guy, Mr. M, who she had kind of been feeling all along. She comes back, and after she's been pregnant, they kind of get together and they become boyfriend and girlfriend. And they start dating or whatever, and he basically says that he's going to take on the responsibilities of the father, and that he's going to fulfill those shoes. So throughout the episode, we kind of see her in his relationship kind of struggling, because she's trying to juggle, school and being pregnant and the boyfriend, and she's mostly doing like online classes and things like that, and things are really hard for her. This definitely isn't an easy time in her life, and her story was definitely kind of. And we also see her try to get a job. This is the first teen mom that I've seen on 16 and Pregnant try to get a job. And, she tried to get that job while she was pregnant. I just have to commend her on that, because girlfriend put on, loose-fitting clothes and, a jacket, a coat that was black so that she can just kind of conceal her stomach a little bit. And she went out, she filled out job applications, she had a couple of on-the-spot interviews. And that is something that not most teen moms, 16 and pregnant girls will not do. They'll just be like, well, I'm pregnant, but nobody's going to hire me. At least try to, do something. And she was able to get a job after she had the baby. One of the places that she applied to did call her back, and, she had a job. After she had the baby, she had a job. And that's because she went looking when she was pregnant. So she was definitely a courageous girl. The guy that she was dating, the M guy, things didn't end up working out with her because it was very hard for her to be a mom, once the baby was born. She had a little boy, I don't remember his name, it was something with an E. But once he was born, you know, she wasn't able to pretty much juggle, you know, all of those different things and be a girlfriend, you know, do school and have a job and be a mom. You know, it was hard. So they did end up breaking up, and you know, they kind of remained friends to kind of hang out from time to time. And, you know, he's in college. He doesn't really have any real responsibilities to her as a father. So I hope that she takes whatever the baby's daddy name is, Eli. I hope that she takes him to court and gets child support from him, because she should not have to do that on her own. You know, like, she just shouldn't have to. And I hope that on, you know, the Drew episode, whatever, the 16 and pregnant after story, whatever it's called, you guys know what I'm talking about, where he does his little after story thing with the girls from the show. I hope that they bring him on the show, because they did not show him, period. And I guess it's because he doesn't want anything to do with her. But it's like, it doesn't matter if you don't want anything to do with this baby. You made it. It's your child. You still have to take responsibility for it. So I hope that, you know, he's on the show and Drew kind of talks to him and she gets some answers, because she kind of needs closure. Like, you see her and throughout the episode just kind of struggling with, you know, being a mom, and she was holding a lot of stuff in. And, you know, she was definitely one of my favorite teen moms this season, just because it seemed like she and the other girl, Jordan, just really seemed like they had it the worst with struggling to be, you know, a teen mom. So they were definitely two very interesting stories. So let me know what you guys thought about this week's episodes after the drop, and I will talk to you guys later. Remember to subscribe for more.